All right, what is up, fellow bench warmers? Welcome back to another draft day. And as we do this draft, we'll probably talk about some trades that happened over the weekend. My name is JJT with Commish. Commish is drafting today, pick 9. We were not able to record the past few drafts because lots of things happening in our personal lives, but we're back. Commish, we are in the second round, and
Yes, second round at the moment.
okay, so maybe we first talk about, since the first round is done. Let's talk about the trade that happened. Dame Lillard going to the Bucks, and then Drew, just I think today or yesterday, goes to Boston, and then Aiton goes to the Blazers, with Nurkic going to Phoenix. So I think those are the key players that or Robert Williams also moved
Robert
to the
Williams. Yeah.
Blazers. Those are some of the key players, but maybe first let's talk about Dame because he's the top tier player here. I've been seeing. I don't think anything has changed with Dame when it comes to being drafted at the position he is in. He usually still goes late first round.
I think managers have factored in the trade with its value. No, people knew he was going to get traded, so they factored that in early in the draft before pre-trade when he was going 11, 12 around those 10, 11, 12 around those range. But what I can say is now you will not see him fall below the first round because
Yeah,
before there are drafts where he will go 14, 15, maybe even 16
yeah,
sometimes because it depends on the draft. It depends on the manager's risk tolerance at that point. But now you will see him definitely in the top 12 or at least top 14. Definitely he's a first rounder because at least we're sure of his role now next season.
yeah. And do you think him playing with Giannis makes it a lesser role?
Yeah, definitely. There will be he has, as he said, he has not played with a player like Yanis. So has Yanis not played with a player like Dame. The level of these two guys are probably top 10. Yanis maybe is the best player in the NBA right now. I mean, not in fantasy, in real life, no. And Dame probably top 10, one of the best shooters. So definitely both of them will take some usage drop. Yanis last year was 35% usage. Dame was 33. Dame was fourth. Yanis was first. It's just not gonna. Not, I don't think that's gonna happen this year in Milwaukee. That they're gonna take everything, and then the other players will just get nothing. So definitely there will be a little drop, but I'll take it. I don't think it will be that big. No, I don't think it will be that big.
Yeah, and you're right. Lillard now, managers now are more confident picking him there after the 10th pick. Usually that's where he is being picked, 11, 12. I don't think he goes past, rarely he would now go past uh, 12 so far in the past couple of drafts that I've seen. Um, Now, the other guy that's probably in the next level is Drew to Boston. This is interesting because Boston is now stacked. They're loaded. They're starting five: Drew, Tatum, Jalen Brown, Kristaps, and well, Al Horford is probably the quote unquote odd man out there. Drew, you think fit wise this changes draft outlook? Because I don't think it will changes the way
He
his draft outlook.
I think he drops a bit. Definitely from Milwaukee, he was probably the second best player there. Even in fantasy, I think he was the second best. Brook Lopez, you can say Brook had a great year last year, but I mean, with overall, with all around stats, steals, assists, points, everything else, he was the second best player in Milwaukee. That will not be the case in Boston. He might not be even the fourth. He might be the fourth. No, so his pecking order he drops a lot. If we saw what Marcus Smart, how Marcus Smart was used last year, I think that would be how they would use Drew. No, so the minutes will be there. I think the minutes will still be there. They are very, very, very shallow right now. Don't no depth at all in Boston, so I think the minutes will be there. It's just we keep on saying usage, shot attempts, and everything, but that's really where it boils down to. He will have to sacrifice a lot. I do hope maybe just efficiency would maybe improve. The steals, maybe the defensive stats, maybe the non-scoring stats, maybe improves a bit. But yeah, he should get a hit, in Boston.
I still feel though that he might be okay getting picked at the 40s, top
Maybe
50 still.
yes, top 50. Yes, I think still top 50, but I would not be surprised if he falls behind guys like as we see here, maybe guys like Poole, maybe goes ahead of him in some
Mhm.
drafts. No, maybe DeRozan at sometimes. So there could be situations like that with Drew
All right.
now in
Actually, this is
Boston.
the first draft we're doing with Drew after Drew has been traded. So we'll see. It's going to be very interesting to see where he falls in this draft
Yeah.
as we are currently at pick 37. Not
Yes.
much surprises here.
I think
Maybe
Des
Kawhi,
Kawhi,
24.
yeah. Desmond Bain, I think, dropping to 33, I think. That's a very,
Yeah.
very good value. He's sometimes going top 20, so that the value at 33 is very good. No, I'm about
Yeah.
to
Actually,
draft.
this second round,
Yeah.
I noticed this second round, it's tough to pick which player. I guess it's a matter of looking for the proper combination from the proper pairing with your first pick. But it's so hard. Like we've seen um, Trey go from 15 to 18 to 19 at times. We've seen Booker. It's all over the place actually. Fred Van Fleet here was pick what? 20,
I picked him 20. I was the one who picked Fred Van Vliet, and I
right?
think
But
it's, yeah.
sometimes
I'm
he goes to
mostly,
the end of the second round too.
yeah, I'm punting my field goals probably. No, and that's where I'm going, and I'm trying to solidify the assist. So that's my reasoning there. But yeah, the second round is really tough. Second round is tough. The top after the first 12, maybe first 10 or 11, after the KD AD part, it's whatever happens already at that
And
point. You mentioned Trey. I think Trey justifiable that he really is moving up. He's moving up. I would really pick him at the top 15, top at the worst top 18.
yeah,
At
he's
the
usually
worst.
there. This just
Yeah.
doesn't fall below, doesn't go beyond 20. He's there, but just depends on Plus, the second round really sometimes kind of determines a little bit where you want to go, right? What direction you want to take.
Yeah.
Are you going to punt this? I think it's still too early to determine whether you're gonna punt this, but at least you get a baseline of what categories you're gonna try to focus on. And that's key here in the second round, and that makes it harder because the players here in the second round are a wide variety of players who contributes different skills stat set, right? If you want to go
Yeah.
rebounding more, you go bonus. If you want to go assist, you go Trey. If you want scoring, you Booker, Donovan Mitchell, right? And if you want, Jaren Jackson has been also moving up and down there in the middle of the second round to the tail end of the second round. Kawhi here being picked at the end of the second round is actually quite surprising for me because he's usually dropping to the third just because of that load management thing. First, this is Commish's first Victor Wembanyama pick,
Yeah, it's my first Wembanyama. As I said, with so many leagues, you just want to have the feel of different
right?
players
You want to try different players,
on different combinations, and the player I want at this range is really, if not Evan Mobley. I like Evan Mobley. I was also eyeing Cade Cunningham, but both of them got picked before me. So I didn't like Brunson. I wasn't really interested in Jaylen Brown, especially now with the trade. I think Brown also gets a hit. I think this is too early for him. Kristaps, I have too many Kristaps already. Although the trade, Robert Williams moving
Yeah,
to Portland helps Kristaps, no? But the injury risk will still be there. But for sure, at least now we're not gonna have to worry about having Robert Williams behind him. They just signed Wenyan Gabriel. I think they're gonna use Wenyan Gabriel behind him. So as
yeah,
long as Kristaps' body can withstand, maybe 30 minutes a night, maybe 60 games, hopefully the season, he should be a top 40 guy. So I think he should be fine. But that's not a given with Kristaps. So
no,
with so
but
many
it's
Kristaps already, I decided to go with Wemby.
and I think after that trade, Kristaps falls a bit in the draft. Everyone would think, of course, that's
I don't
another
think so.
usage.
I think he moves up because Robert Williams, the big Robert Williams departure is
But I don't think Robert Williams was a threat to Kristaps,
he
even
was.
when he was there.
No, he was.
I
He was
don't
a threat.
sense that. I mean,
No, I
personally,
mean
I don't sense that he was a threat to Kristaps.
we knew Robert Williams was not gonna be able to play a lot of games. That his body just can't withstand it. He's not gonna play a lot of minutes either. He's not gonna play 30 minutes. That's just not possible. But he will at least get 20. And
Yeah.
I don't really see Kristaps and Robert Williams playing together. That's something
Mhm.
I do not believe can happen. So I think what will happen to Aiton right now might be what will happen to Kristaps. I think Aiton and Robert Williams in Portland will be a 28-20 split. They can't play together. And Portland has said they
Yeah.
will keep Robert Williams. So
That combination is worse than the Kristaps Robert Williams,
yeah,
because
definitely.
Robert Williams and Aiton probably has the same quote unquote skill set here, right?
Yeah.
No one can play
Yes.
outside. Both of the guys play inside.
But I still like Aiton. No, I still think it's still we haven't talked about him so far.
Yeah.
I think still with him moving to Phoenix, to Portland, it's a big help to his value.
Aren't you surprised that he hasn't been picked yet here?
Am I surprised that he hasn't been picked here? No, because we're at 42, 43. I think if the Robert Williams trade didn't go down, he would have been picked. But given the Robert Williams trade, I think managers are going back to, hey, maybe not top 50. Maybe
Yeah,
there, he got
Eaton
picked.
gets picked, just as we were
Yeah,
talking about him.
43. I think this is just right. No, this is good enough for me. 43 is safe, for Aiton, and I think that what would be where I would pick him. The choices here are, you see, Kristaps is still there, Chet Holmgren is still there, Walker Kessler. If you're looking for bigs, Jarrett Allen, Nick Claxton. I think if you don't not punting free throws maybe, or you want more points, more scoring, you would go with Aiton. I actually like Aiton more than Vooch now. No, I
Yeah,
like Aiton more
yeah,
than
I
Vooch.
think. No, it's just
But
that
Vooch is just safer. No, Vooch is just safer.
no. It also Butch can shoot the threes, and if that's the stat that you are trying to build on your
Yeah,
threes, then he can help you there. But I think rebounding wise, field goal wise, I think Aiton would get a ton of usage here in Portland. I would, it's safe to say that he's gonna get a lot more usage here than he would have gotten in Phoenix for sure.
I think so. Yes, I mean KD, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker. Those are three huge. I mean, stumbling blocks, no. And now he's left with who? Scoot. He's a rookie. Simons, but these guys are, I mean, the poor man's version maybe of the three that he left. No, Jeremy, Scoot, Simons. Those are like the poor man's version of Beal, Booker,
Yeah,
and KD. So he would. My baseline is 18 and 10, maybe a block. Good percentages. Those are my baseline. I think he did that 2, 3 seasons ago. He was able to do that. He was
yeah,
a top 30 fantasy player. So 2010 is not out of the question if somehow Robert Williams just plays 17, 18 minutes or gets hurt at some point, or gets managed by Portland to death, whatever. So that's very possible. So you can at least with a trade, because I think Aiton would have gone top 35, top maybe sometimes top 30 if Robert Williams didn't come. So this puts him a little bit down to the 40s level, which is even better. No, so I'm next. No, who was picked? Kristaps. That would have been my
Yeah,
pick.
this stuff suspect.
So as you can see there, Drew is falling. Okay, I wasn't prepared for this. Let me think. At this point, I have Wemby. I have who did I have? Okay, what pick are we in? 48. So I think Drew is pretty good here already, but hmm,
You're punting
field
field
goals. No,
goal.
I'm punting field goals. Yeah, but I also don't want to lose a lot of points. Hmm, Jalen is okay. No, Jalen is okay, but I'm strong in steals. OG, what do you think of OG this
Well,
season?
uh, so hard. I only have I think one OG. Only just steals dependent. I don't know how the other categories would look like. I mean, he was interesting last year because of the steals, elite steals, and then he fell off. I
Yeah,
like Drew more than OG. I think Drew contributes a little more if you want more assists.
yeah. Let's go. Not really something I want to do, but well, at that range at 48, I think it was just right. But let's see. Lots of experimentation here. Let's see at the next round.
It's the thing about OG is that he's great at steals, and then the rest, it's going to be a guessing game, right? He doesn't rebound enough, I guess. He
Yes,
doesn't,
but I think the 3 points have has improved to to a level where at least it's a positive. It's a positive already for him. I think he is averaging two a game, 1 point something to two. I think
Mhm.
with Van Vliet out already this year. I think that could rise. The scoring could rise. Rebounds, I'm not too sure because we always feel like he should be getting more rebounds, but he's
Right?
not.
But he's not.
So yeah, so but
Who do you think is the better option? Is it OG or Scotty?
I think it's still OG. It's still OG. His role is more set. He has improved
Really? His
already
role?
to the level where
You
you
think
have to
his role
guess.
is more set
No,
than
no. I
Scotty?
mean, yes, Scotty. We're not even sure if they're gonna start him at point, maybe, or if he's gonna play shooting guard. Um, he can do a lot more. But OG, given the experience of OG, the years already, we already saw what he can do. If it was last season's OG, uh, on totals, he was around what level was he? Top 30.
Because he,
I mean, that's not bad. That's not bad because of the steals, as you said, because of some 3 pointers.
yeah,
His average 1.5, 1.6 3 pointers and solid percentages. And Scotty Barnes, we did not see that last season. He was
he actually,
outside
Scotty
the
kind of
50s.
fell off last
Yeah,
season.
yeah. So we have to project that to Scotty. Of course, with Van Vliet out, maybe Scotty gets more ball handling, more creation, basket creating, offense creation, maybe. But if between the two of them, I think OG also has some upside left, as you said, with scoring, with maybe increased scoring and everything. No, so I
I
do think
just,
OG is
I
better.
just sense that a lot more managers are more, how do you say this? They like Scotty more than OG. Maybe
Uh,
because maybe a lot of some of the managers are thinking, Scotty's upside is a little higher than OG. I just get that sense, right? I just get that sense.
but it could be, yeah, could be. I do wish Scotty scores more, no, improves his percentages better. There are a lot of things. It's just there's a lot of things that, yeah, he's ceiling might be higher, but the floor is so much lower. And for me, it's just that OG also still has a level up. It's not as if this is Vooch, no.
Yeah.
So yeah. Uh, and at this range, maybe we can talk about Derek White. So we're talking about the
Yeah.
trade pieces
So
one by one. No,
we're closing in at
wherever,
the 60s.
yeah.
That's where Derek White
So
usually gets picked.
maybe that's a more controversial one. Derek White. Some people feel like it's still the same. Some people feel like, it's a bust now. I think if you pick him in the 60s, he might be a bust. No,
Yeah.
but he's not gonna be a bust to the point of he's not gonna have value anymore. I think last season, whatever he did last season, he can easily do this season because who's gonna start? I think it's gonna be Horford, maybe Kristaps, Tatum, Brown, and Drew. He will come off the bench. They don't have any bench player really. He's gonna be their sixth man, just like last season on some some games when
Yeah.
they were healthy, but that didn't happen a lot last season. But sixth man, but who was he with in the bench? Peyton Pritchard, Wenyan Gabriel, I mean O'Shea Brissett. So I mean Luke Cornett. Those are not really you know
Definitely
uh
he's, a level, lots of level higher than those guys.
definitely. So
But
I
where
just
do you
feel
think
like
he should be right now?
he
Still
should be
top
at the
100?
yeah, way inside top 100. We know what Derek White can do in fantasy, and as I said, given that they only are probably 6 or 7 deep, they don't have Grant Williams anymore. He's easily
Yeah.
gonna get 30 minutes. Still gonna get 30 minutes, and 30 minutes Derek White, even if he doesn't score 15, 16 points, maybe 12 points, maybe 4 assists, maybe 1 steal. He blocks well for a guard. He rebounds well for a guard. So I think Derek White should still be there. If he falls to the 80s to the 90s, that's better. Don't pick him where he's ranked right now because this has not been adjusted for the trade. No, it's not been adjusted for the trade. So
Yeah.
I think
I think
White.
the 90s is perfect. I think 80s is
Yeah,
okay. I'm pretty sure he's gonna fall right now in this draft because he's been going at the 70s. I think that's where he's usually gets picked, late 60s to 70s. Although the ranks of Yahoo had him at the early 60s part, right? Not sure
yeah.
now, but I think he's gonna fall. He's gonna fall. We're just not sure where he's gonna fall to.
The next player I want to talk about is Simons. Has he been picked? I can't see him in my queue, Anthony Simons. But of
He's
course,
usually after this. I think he's also in the 60s, if I'm not mistaken, or 70s.
uh,
No, he's
he's
in
in the
the
80s. He's still
80s.
in the
Yeah,
80s. He's still in the 80s. But we can talk about him a little bit. Given Dame is now out, Dame is gone. So we saw what he did when Dame is gone. No, the games without Dame, that he really performed well. Now that that's permanently out of the way, I do see a very big potential for Simons. He's not gonna go in the 80s. He probably will go to the 60s and probably will switch places with Derek White. In my opinion, no. Although Simons, of course, very scoring dependent. No, he doesn't steal the ball. He doesn't give you defensive stocks and everything. Doesn't even pass as much.
he doesn't do
I
much.
would I would not say he's a top 50 guy now that Dame is gone. Because why? Because he's not going to be the point guard this time. They have Scoot. I think Scoot will handle the ball a lot, and he will probably be the CJ McCollum. Okay, that's how I see it. He's probably gonna be doing the role of CJ McCollum, scoring more, and maybe secondary ball handler. So probably the assists won't go as high as we want. That's why I think 60s will be the perfect position for him. No, for
Does
for
does
for
does Scoot get into that top 100 with Dame out?
there is a path to that. I think if his efficiency is solid enough, I think he can get there, but I would not count on it being a point guard, rookie point guard. We know the struggles of rookie point guards. We know how hard it is to transition to the NBA as a point guard. And as a rookie who didn't even play college, although he did play 2 years of G League. That goes for him, that's going for him, is that the other rookies had only probably 1 year. He had 2 years of G League Ignite experience playing against pros, so that helps.
Yeah.
But even in G League, you can see the struggles shooting, the turnovers. Those will happen. Those will still happen. He can just sneak into the top 100, but I think probably on the outside. He probably goes outside the top. I mean, finishes outside the top 100. That would be my guess for Scoot.
Yeah, because I think some managers might pick him there inside the top 100. Just right there, maybe the late 90s to 100 to 105 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas before he usually goes lower. I think after the trade, his stock moves up a bit, by a
Okay.
lot. I think that's
Looking
what's gonna happen.
looking at the players top left, no, the best available left, we see Zion. As we always see him fall at this range during the draft.
Yeah,
I think Zion at the 60s is a worthy. I mean, if it fits your build, no. If it falls even lower, if it falls to the 70s or 80s, that's a no brainer. No, but at the 50s, 60 at right now we're at the 60s. That's a very very good value already for Zion. Over, I mean, I'll pick him over Giddy. I'll pick him over Derek White. I'll pick him over Chris Paul. These guys are all risky players anyway. So yeah, this is also a tough spot to draft. No, I'm a little bit down on bigs, but there's not much bigs available, so it's gonna be tough.
well,
Gonna be
that
tough.
that's a you know interesting part because the bigs are pretty much scattered right all over.
Yeah,
But there are certain draft positions, wherein you will run out. Especially if you're like drafting at the first or the tail ends of the draft. That's what I noticed. If you don't get the bigs, you will eventually run out because they get picked somewhere in the middle of every round. Um, so yeah, Commish is about to pick next for
who got picked? France.
64. Franz Wagner,
I'll go.
Scotty Barnes, Giddy.
I'll pick Zion if, if it falls to me. I'll pick Zion. Zion, will he stay healthy?
Well, that's a big question mark. We haven't seen him
65.
healthy for what? Not
Uh,
even, we just saw him healthy for what? Half a season?
yeah,
And then that's it. How many years have he been in the league? 3 years, right? Last year was his
yeah.
third year, right?
I think so. Third year, fourth year, maybe this season. But we
Yeah.
can we're talking about injuries now, no? Zion, at least he's still healthy for now. It's just it's just too tempting, no, at this point. But I'm really looking at Cam Johnson. That's one of my favorite Chris Paul. So Zion is available. So I'll think Cam Johnson or Zion. No, I do like Cam Johnson a lot as a player. I know a lot of managers maybe not as high on him, but at 65, he's one of the safest probably pick. So the opposite is Zion. It's probably one of the craziest riskiest, no, at this point. Huh. What do you think, JJT? Will we go with a crazy pick here and pick Zion? I don't have any Zion Williamson. Don't have any Wemby either. So this could be a crazy draft for me. Just
But
going.
you're punting field goal, right?
Yeah, I'm punting field goal. That's true. That's but just looking at value, solid.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't have any Zion. I've been tempted to pick him, but never really pulled the trigger.
yeah, me too. Probably go with Cam. Who I've been eyeing anyway. So the next
If
round, I'll
Zion
probably go.
falls in the next round,
Yeah, I'll pick him.
I think I like him more
I'll
at the
pick him. That's already
70s.
70s.
Yeah. If he falls in the
Yeah.
70s, then I'm sure I'll be able to pick him there. But
My
if there's
target really is
there's a
total.
lot of better players, I mean safer players, I guess in the 60s, then I'll go with the safer ones first. But you know
I'm
me,
looking at.
I don't really go too much on the risky guys. Rarely do I go to the risky guys.
Okay, so we're going to the 70s. No, now we just got Vassell here. We have a lot of injuries to talk about also. No,
Yeah.
first is Draymond, the ankle injury. He's usually one of the good late round big men to pick. Zion got picked. So who picked him? Tristan. No? But yeah, Draymond's injury, we're not too sure. It's just an sprained ankle, but they said it's four to
Two to
six,
4 week. Is it 4 to 6
or is it three to
or two
four?
to four?
I think probably 2 to 4. Probably 2 to 4. But it's
I think
weird because
it's 4 to 6 is the Gafford injury.
okay, maybe the Gafford injury, but both of them, we can talk about them together. Gafford was one of the better 80s pick, no, at this range, no, 80s pick. So that's a big blow to fantasy man. It's gonna be really harder to draft now at this point because usually Gafford is a player who I think is a steal at the 90s, 80s to 90s because I like what he does. No, I think he's gonna be a solid player. And then Draymond
All
at
right,
the
Gafford is
later part.
expected to miss 2 to 4 weeks.
Yes, but it's I think elbow injury. No, the thing is it's vague.
Yeah, you're
Even
right. Draymond 4 to 6 weeks.
this is weird, right? 4 to 6 weeks for a sprained ankle is weird. That is not a high ankle sprain, supposedly. So makes me think that he's gonna miss maybe the first 2 weeks of the season
Mhm.
at least, and then when he comes back, we're not even sure if they're gonna play him his regular minutes. So who benefits? No, we can see some players benefit here, but let's talk about Raymond first situation. I think for
Yeah.
sure Chris Paul will probably now start because now Looney will probably be the starting center. They won't have anybody else basically. It's gonna be Looney, Wiggins, and then Clay, Chris Paul, and Steph. No, I think that helps Chris Paul for at least the early part of the season. And then Looney, no, maybe Looney becomes a little bit draftable now, no, at the late last parts if you need rebounding. So I think that helps those two players. For Gafford though, there's not really any player.
Who's their backup center or
Mike Muscala,
yeah, so
the
not
never
much player.
the player who never dies, no, Mike Muscala. Not much. As you see, look, Mark Williams goes 74. Usually, Mark Williams will go a little later. No, a little later. I think that has an effect. That has a Gafford effect. No,
Yeah,
so
plus I think the rankings also have adjusted a bit, moving him a little higher. So, when managers look into the who's available, he's probably one of the names that's gonna be there.
okay.
Interesting, you have Capella here. I was telling you a couple of days ago, there was two drafts already. I've had two drafts already wherein he went 100 plus. Like
I think that
the
is a
one,
little too low. No, 100 plus. But I can see why. No, his best days are behind him. He has a very very eager backup. A backup who's probably better than him
but
already.
was there any news about
No,
him
no,
in the
none.
past
It's
few
but he's the kind
days
of
or weeks?
player. He's the kind of player that can fall. No, he's the kind of player that will and can fall. So it's not surprising. But I put him in my queue, but I'm not really interested in him.
No, if
Okay,
he's
good.
falling to hundreds, then
Yeah.
I
Okay,
just
good.
wait.
I'm happy because Total is my target. No, Total is my target. I don't care about the free throws because he doesn't take a lot. No, I need some rebounds and blocks to help Wemby. So he should help me. Yeah, I know his field goal. We're punting field goals, but we don't really need to make sure we lose that category. No, we're not. That's not how you punt. It's just that we want to get some players who will help us in categories that field goals will be weak at, which is rebounds and blocks. No, because if you're punting field goals, you're definitely getting more small guys. No, so some players who can help shore up those areas. No, so I think
Yeah.
Potel is one of them. So I'm happy about that. That one I'm pretty happy about. That's an easier pick. I think I like Potel more than Mark Williams for sure. I know Mark Williams has that upside, but come on, it's
No, the Potel pick is the safer pick. If you usually talk about this, right? If you're
yeah.
choosing between two players, it's usually a choice between a safer pick wherein you know what that player can do versus someone who might have higher upside, but you're still not sure if he can reach that this year. Right? I think it's usually those, and that's probably how Potel and Mark Williams would be.
Yes. Okay. So Robert Williams is in this queue already. I mean, he's one of the top remaining players. We haven't talked about him much.
We also haven't talked about Nurkic.
He and Nurkic, no,
Yeah,
both of them are there.
yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I
I'm
think
here. You lost me.
JJT is losing his connection.
Is it me?
Let's wait for. Yeah, I think so. I'm okay.
Yeah. Are we back? Can you hear
I
me?
think it's yours. Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you. Well, all right. We're actually not sure
Sorry, I
who,
can't hear you.
which connection is breaking.
Okay, but okay. But talking about Robert Williams, I think he definitely. I think he should be similar to where he is in Boston. I don't like him at the 80s. I'll start with that. No, so I don't like. I was never gonna draft him in the 80s, even if he stayed in Boston. I was probably the more of the 100s area. So I think that will still be his spot, even if he got traded. That's just my Robert Williams take. No, because I saw him, he's still here, so I wanted to mention that. Or was he picked already? No, he wasn't. So
No, he hasn't been
there.
picked.
Yes.
Can you
If
hear
you
me
want to
now?
talk about, yeah, I hear you. I hear you better now.
All right.
Uh, Yusuf Nurkic, meanwhile, moving to Phoenix. I think some people like it. I don't. Nurkic. We know his efficiency is poor for a big man, so that should increase in Phoenix, right? If you're not gonna, if you be, he'll be open a lot with
Yeah.
Durant, with Booker. I mean, he's gonna be open a lot. But we also like him because he can pass. No, he can do a lot of
Yeah.
other things. I think that in Phoenix, I'm not sure how they're gonna use him, but he probably will just be a rebound guy, more of a set a screen. He could get some chances, facilitating, but not as much as in Portland. If ever, I think it's a net neutral. No, it's a neutral.
Yeah.
Neutral for me, for Nurkic.
Yeah. And maybe the defensive stocks would be available or be good as well for Nurkic if you're looking for those categories, the steals and the blocks. Because for a center, I think Nurkic is one of the centers who can steal the ball. Um, so yeah, Brogdon.
Okay,
I know
Brogdon.
Brogdon is down the line, but he's another player that was traded as well. He's not really, he's not really being picked high. Usually late, tail end of the draft, that's where he gets picked. He moves to the Blazers. I'm not sure if that's gonna help his cause because the Blazers are stacked, quote unquote, when it comes to young players.
But I don't think they're gonna keep him. They already said they're gonna try to trade him again. So we cannot really talk much about Brogdon if we don't know where he's going. I think he's on the move. Maybe Clippers. Clippers, possibly Clippers. I don't know if Portland is gonna talk to Miami or whatever. But I mean, a contender would probably get him. So we're not sure where he goes. And let's wait for that before we can, properly assess if he
Yeah.
improves or not. But if he stays in Portland, I think it will be the same role. He's gonna be a sixth man. He's gonna mentor the young guards. Yeah, he's probably get 20 minutes, 25 minutes at most. No, so if he stays in Portland, might be better for him because, of course, those are young guards who probably make a lot of mistakes. Maybe the coach will put him in as a veteran presence, but they already said they're gonna move him. So let's just wait if when the
Yeah.
move comes.
Derek White now was picked. Joseph was the one who picked him
Derek
uh,
White, yeah.
at 86. So I think that's where he falls now at the 80s.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I see what Joseph is building here. I think he has the Jonte also with Embiid, OG, Paul George. You could definitely see the steals are. He's probably number one in steals, no, with that lineup. Uh, Also, he's trying to improve those 3 pointers with Clay and Beal. So probably
He
punting
might be punting a
assists. I'm
bit
not too
of
sure.
the assists
I think it's the
or the
assists,
rebound.
no,
Actually,
with
I'm not sure the rebound holds up as well.
but I think the assist would probably be the only one he's punting as of the moment. I think the rebounds he's gonna
Yeah,
try
the assist
to
for
short that
sure.
later on. Yeah, the assist for
The assist
sure.
for
No,
sure. Yeah.
the DeJounte one is interesting. No, I haven't seen the Embiid DeJounte combo as much, and also the Embiid Paul George. Although Paul George is a value. No, I mean I like Paul George ahead of DeJounte, but you can
Mm.
interchange both of them, and I have no question. I have no complaints about that. But it's very risky to have Paul George and Embiid. But if both of them plays 70 games, he should be very happy. I see that Joao is also in this league. No,
Yep.
is so he
Well,
basically the defending champion, I guess, of the league. No, I think he won last
um.
season. Although this is totally different
Yeah.
opponents.
Yeah.
He went with Shea, Carl Anthony Towns, and Evan Mobley. That's a solid combo. No, that's a very solid combo. Anyways, I'm up in two picks,
Yeah.
so I'll let
Joao said
Jeremy
this is
talk
his
first and let
first
me
draft.
think.
So, for his
This is
first
first
draft,
draft.
looks like,
Okay,
but I think he's been watching some of the drafts that we've done in the past. So he probably has an idea already of who goes where. But as also, Joao is not new to this game. He's a veteran
oh,
manager already.
definitely. Yeah, definitely.
So he knows
He,
values when he sees one.
yeah, he's a great. He's a good manager. He knows how to pick. In other words, no, I'm not. Well, Marcus Smart is staring at me at this point. I am punting field goals, so it really doesn't matter. The 25 games without Ja Morant should be solid. Shores up steals, shores up even more assists. I'm just worried about my points at this point, but yeah, Marcus Smart.
No, I,
If
I think at this point, if there's not much points players here
that's true, that's
at
true.
this
There's
point
no
of the draft. So if you haven't, maybe shored up your points early on, this might be too late.
That's
Usually
true.
is too late.
Usually, it probably falls to the other guys like Jordan Clarkson. No, at this point. Now, my Gafford is here. He said he's out for 2 to 4 weeks, right? So he shouldn't be out for long. But the injury really is worrying. As we said, this is the part where it's gonna be hard
If
to
you're
think.
eyeing Gafford, I think should be available. I wouldn't be surprised if he's available in the next round because everyone's going to be worried about that injury.
That's true. That's true. Um, at this point, I really like Marcus Smart. No, I think he's solid with in Memphis with Ja Morant out for even if Ja comes in, he should be a he should still play a big role with Memphis. So probably lean Ja. I'm just thinking if Gafford is worth it. Or Ja Morant. No, he's actually still there. But I'm gonna go with my gut. I think just fits what I need.
This
But Ja Morant,
actually
by the way,
a different draft for you. You rarely pick like players like Marcus Smart,
yeah,
uh,
Wemby.
Wemby probably, yeah, not that rare, but he usually goes a little higher than this.
Yeah, that's true. But Marcus just fits, I think, with Lamelo and VanVleet. I
Yeah,
mean, VanVleet will score 35% field goal. Lamelo will score 36% field goal. Marcus Smart will score 30. You just hate it. But if you just who cares? All of you can just miss all your shots. I'm just gonna get your points. I'm just gonna get your assists. I'm gonna get your steals. No rebounds for guards. I'll be happy. 3 pointers. No,
yeah,
that's how I look at it. Really, it's tough. I know you're not punting as much. As much as possible, I don't want to punt also, but in head to head, sometimes it's easier to draft if you're doing that instead of thinking about all the categories. I'll just put it that way. It makes your life so much easier. If that's what you're thinking.
yeah.
So
It
there.
also helps if you know which round would be a good time to get certain players. Like I said, if you're
Mm-hmm.
if you don't want to punt scoring, you should get scoring early on. That usually
Yes.
is the case. Even in past years, right? Even last year the scoring is really there because obviously the scorers are the top players are usually there at the first 4 rounds of the draft, right?
Yes. True.
So that's where you shore up your scoring. If by the fourth round, fifth round you feel that you should be able to already decide whether you're gonna punt scoring at that point because it's going to be too late. Fifth round, there's not much there. Sixth
Yes.
round, worse, right? Now
That's
threes,
true.
they're abundant everywhere, right? Threes, they're pretty much scattered all over the place. What assist usually is a little scattered, but the difference between the top tier players versus the second tier assist guys are a lot bigger, right? You have Trey there, you have Halliburton, you have Lamelo, and then if you move down the third, fourth round, there's not much assist already. But there are like players like Giddy, players like Chris Paul, they can give you maybe 7, 8 assists. But the gap is a lot huge between the first year and the second year.
There are certain players, if you're looking at assists late in the draft. At this point, it's Trey Jones, no? Trey Jones
Yeah,
of San Antonio. I think that's the best assist guy you can get. But after that, it's Mike Conley, I guess.
yeah.
Maybe Draymond, if because of the injury, he's falling also to this range.
Westbrook.
Westbrook, but yeah, those players like
Hey,
Westbrook,
Westbrook is perfect for your team.
but he also misses a lot of free throws, no, and a lot of turnovers. But he does make sense, no. Actually, yeah, if there is a time to draft him, this would be the time, no. So he's in my queue. That never happens. So he should be happy. He finally made my queue. But yeah, usually when you looking for assists at this late in the draft, it comes with a lot of asterisk. Like okay, Westbrook, you can get assists, but will you be okay with the turnovers? Will be okay with the percentages? So
Yeah,
it's harder. No, the points is just scarce. It's just harder to find at this point.
yeah. Late in
Clarkson
the draft
maybe, but
because
again, they're
the
very
best
one
scorers
dimensional.
are,
RJ Barrett, Keldon Johnson.
yeah, the best scorers are there at the top of
Yeah,
the
yes. So yeah, I mean it's harder to find points later on because very one dimensional. The players you can get at this point that helps your points are one dimensional. Keldon, Barrett, Clarkson, and they have a lot of warts. Although Dinwiddie is another guy who fits my mood, my build here. So Dinwiddie and D'Angelo Russell is okay, but I want some big man stats. So maybe Wendell Carter.
mm,
Wendell Carter is also a big that can help. No, doesn't block as much though. I would want a big that could block. So Zach Collins, who is a player, doesn't block as much as well, but hmm, I think it's better free throw shooting. So one of the two, I'm looking at Zach or I like Zach. I don't know what your thing is with what your stand is with Zach, but I think he's definitely a top one. player. Oh, okay. Wendell was picked, so that should leave me with Zach or Dinwiddie as my choices
Well,
here.
I actually like Zach. Yeah, this at this point, 104. I think that's a great value already for him.
And
I
I
don't
have,
think he falls below 104.
yeah, he rarely falls below 104. I think he should be improving his scoring this year, more rebounding. So I think he should be a solid pick at this point.
Also,
Yeah.
Zach Collins is the last. I think this he is the probably one of the last solid big man. Although
Yeah.
there's still Mitchell Robinson there. If you're
I don't know why, but I'm just so down on Mitchell Robinson this year, unlike before. I just didn't see any improvement in his game. I mean, for so long, it's just stagnated. No,
you didn't see the video, he can shoot free throws now.
I'll see it uh, when I believe it.
As
When
you believe it
I
when you
believe
see
it
it.
when I see it. Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. So yeah,
Yeah, but Mitch Rob and then who got picked, I think. Yeah,
Mitch Rob was picked. Yeah, Mitch Rob
yeah.
was
The
picked. So
next big men are probably going to be the Horfords, right? Better
oh,
value now, Horford, I think.
there. We haven't talked about Horford. So this is a great way to talk about the trades. Now we go around it using the draft. Horford should go higher. Should be at least draftable in top 120. Um, if you want to go higher than that, maybe a little bit. He should get some backup five. With Kristaps play with he can play with Kristaps too. Overall, it's a big help to his value because we were already thinking that maybe he will be really baby till the playoff. Play him
Yeah.
18-20 minutes just to keep him fresh. But I think with the lack of depth, that's out the window. They should play him at least 24-25 minutes still. And he's a very efficient and solid big man. Robert Williams is still here, as we can see.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's gonna fall. But he hasn't been not a lot of managers have been really high on him. And I think the trade, you know, made him fall further. Nurkic is also still there, I think,
yes.
if I'm not mistaken. Although Nurkic
You know
has
another
been
player
picked outside the hundreds even before the trade.
Another player who opens up the value if you're punting field goal is Gary Trent. Gary Trent is a guy who, as we said, he can late in the draft looking for points. It's hard to find someone who can do other things than score at this point. And Gary Trent is one player who can because he can steal. But as
Yeah,
as we all know, the field goals very very bad, no, at times. So again, punting it opens up some some players for you compared to
yeah.
other managers who would be hesitant to pick him. No, because if
He's
you're
going to
punting
be
one category,
easier
the
for you
ranking
to pick.
change for you.
Yeah, he's going to be easier for you to pick. So we are. What round are we now? Eighth round.
Sorry, you got choppy there, so I didn't hear what you said.
Uh, yeah, we are in eighth round.
There,
Ja Morant gets picked. What 99?
100.
So Ja's
What
been
is it?
falling.
109. Right? I
Ja's been
think. I
falling.
think. I think Jamorant at this point is. I've already talked about Jamorant in previous draft episodes that I don't like him that high at the 70s where he's being picked. But if it's at hundreds,
Yeah,
that's just great. That's just great value. Who picked him? The last pick,
Team
the guy with the
Boya.
last. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's very solid. That's very solid. That helps him a lot. He has some great picks. No, he has some great picks here.
we didn't talk
So
about Chris Middleton with the
oh yeah, Chris Middleton.
addition of Lillard. Right, he's been picked
I
early during our draft. He's been picked at the 80s. Then he moved up a little bit to the 60s, maybe. Where do you see him now? Still there
prob
at the
back
60s?
probably back to the 80s for me. This one really hurt him a lot because his value is he's a guy who gets points, some assists, no, some threes and everything. But Lillard basically takes all of that, and I don't know if they're gonna stagger him to come off the bench at times with not with Lillard, so that there would be a scorer off the bench. But if they don't do that, I don't see him really being better than being near his previous levels, which is what we thought he could be. Because Milwaukee's been the same lineup for quite some time, no.
Yeah.
So it was very consistent. Brook Lopez, the starting five, Bobby Portis, everybody was consistent. Just the coach just changed. So people were thinking, hey, I'm picking Chris Middleton at the 80s just because of his injury risk. But if he's healthy, as he said, he's healthier, he can easily go back to the top 50. So there was value there. But now that this happened, a lot of things change. So I think 80s would be just right now. He's not a value anymore.
Yeah,
It really hurts him a lot.
I think for Milwaukee, the interesting thing to see here is the dynamics between Dame and Chris Middleton. I think we all know Giannis would probably be the same guy, maybe a lesser usage, but still solid rebounding. He can still do a lot more, right? But
Yeah,
we don't know whether how Lillard and Middleton would coexist, especially on the scoring aspect, where Middleton probably is that's where his forte is, right? The scoring. So that's going to be very interesting to watch. Plus, they have a new coach, and we don't know
that's true.
how he tries to fit them all together.
By the way, as we're recording this, I think we could talk about the new Shams update about James Harden. He's not showing up for. You can check that out. I think he's not in the media day to day. He's not gonna be at the start of training camp. They're gonna wait for. He is gonna wait for the trade to happen. So that should. Well, I picked him last night, as you said, but
Yeah, I was surprised by
I'm
that because
there's still a
you
month, or
said,
maybe.
I think you said
Yes, I know.
uh, a few drafts before that he is riskier than Kawhi.
That's true. But I had Jokic, and I was thinking that Jokic and Harden is really a very solid combo. So I was taking that risk,
Yeah,
hoping that if he gets traded and he plays, and he just gives me low 20s, 10 assists a game, that's perfect combo for Jokic. A really perfect combo for Jokic. He would not have fallen that far if not for the risk. So I'm gonna take that risk because I have Jokic.
yeah.
That's the difference, no? So Jokic is very solid, and this guy is risky. Right now with this news, it's not good, of course. But I'm hoping that he shows up at least even overweight or
He won't.
whatever,
He won't.
and plays a little bit. But he's gonna be
I
fine.
think
But let's see.
I think this is Houston all over again.
Could be. I don't know how long
Although,
this will last.
although, in fairness to him, he doesn't look overweight.
He
There are
doesn't.
some
Yeah,
pictures that showed that he's more in shape. It's just that he probably has played his last game in Philly. I don't think he's gonna play again in Philly, so we don't know where he ends up uh, at this point.
yes, that is true. We don't know where he ends up, who picks him, and I mean Clippers. He wants to go to the Clippers. I don't know if there's a pick there to be made, but um, yeah, we have to wait. We have to see, who blinks first, Daryl Morey or James Harden.
I think he's gonna get traded. The latest I think maybe at the start of the season, but I think my guess is they won't drag this too long. I don't think he's gonna play. Although Philly is known for it for being patient with the way they handled the Ben Simmons situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
They it's not their first rodeo, as the saying goes, right? This is the second player that's asked for a trade and who does not want to show up. So let's see. Let's see what happens. But it looks like um, I think Harden has played his last game in Philly, so we just have to wait where he ends up during the trade.
Okay, it's interesting that Dinwiddie is still here. Who got picked now? The Anthony Melton. So yeah, people might be seeing his field goal percentage here, projected to be 39%. So maybe they're not picking him. But aside from
He's also
him,
not a popular fantasy
that's true.
player.
That's true. But at 120, I think he still has some value in him. Maybe, hopefully. No, he still has that. Ben Simmons is also here, interestingly. Was Paul Reed been picked?
No, not yet. I
Yeah, that's
think not yet.
another. Paul Reed's journey in this draft season is something else. From sleeper, and then he was hyped all the way to the 100, 195, 100, 110. Then he went down again when the experts suddenly say, "Hey, don't pick him that high. We're just saying he's a sleeper at the lower last pick of the draft, not that high." So he's just moving up and down and up and down and up and down, and you don't even know where the what the real rank it should be, for Paul Reed, because really we don't. Okay, so Dinwiddie's here. I need some scoring, so I like Dinwiddie. I'm just looking. Maturin is another player I like. I like Maturin. He's another guy who, if everything falls well, I think Maturin might be better than Dinwiddie, right? Because
Um,
Maturin might improve his steals. Still has some improvement in steals,
yeah,
or
that's so hard to tell
that's
because he's
true.
so
But
good
both
at
of them
scoring.
are basically the
He doesn't show any
same
promise
with.
in other things.
Yeah, I'll go Maturin first. I'll go
Right,
Maturin
so you went
first.
with
I
Maturin.
haven't had any Ben Maturin, and I think,
This
yeah.
is the perfect draft to get him.
One thing is, yes. Uh, it's a different draft, I should say. Where are we? What round are we in? This has been a
Nine.
doozy. Round 10. So three more. Round 9. So we're three more picks. But yeah, I think he's solid there. I think. Hopefully, I'm
This is
quite high
actually
on him.
faster than I think the last draft I had. The last draft I had, second
Really,
round is so.
I was gonna say this is way slower than the other
No, I think
drafts.
you've had some fast drafts. You've had some fast drafts. The drafts that I have
Yeah.
had, there was one draft wherein you know the first round there were managers who were killing every second of the time in the first round. In the second round, which should be the easier ones, right? Easier rounds.
Yes. Okay. Are we at the point where we are looking for upside? I mean, our
Trey Murphy still there.
hype steeper picks already? Not yet. We're still in round 10. Maybe. Sorry. You got
I'm
lost.
back. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. You're back.
All right.
You gotta add some
Trey
fuel.
Murphy, as I was saying, is still there.
Yeah, that's Trey is another player who's very interesting, no? He last year was a top 20 guy, maybe top no, no, not top 20.
Top
top
top 50
top
at
50, top 50,
least.
top 50, top 60 guy, but the injury is supposedly gonna be okay if you look at the timeline around end of November, mid to end November. So that's not that far. That's not
Yeah.
that that long, but his role is really unknown. It's more of that, no? With Zion and everybody healthy. So I think that's
But
what's
I
scaring
think
people.
but I think round 10 is a good bet already.
Usually, I would say yes, but depends. uh, if there's a sure starting position for him, I'll pick him. I really pick him.
No,
Lots
if
of
there's a sure starting position, you will not be available at this point.
But it's just he has to get healthy. Number one, we don't know. I don't know enough of the injury. Number two, somebody has to get hurt. So it's just a lot of
Risks,
things,
unknowns, lot of
a lot of
unknowns.
things that happen. Whoa, Steven Adams at 127. Well, that's good. I mean, usually sometimes people forget about him. He's ranked at
Yeah,
160s. No, he's a solid pick at the one. Who picked him at 127? That's a good pick. Oh, that Boyak again.
Boya.
Yeah. He he did my AD Trey Young combo. Remember one draft we did that AD and
Yeah,
Trey, and then I had Jamal also there. But I think he has Aiton. I had
had a
Mobley. So
guard center.
guard center. Yeah, that's for the last pick. I mean, that's very solid. He's done a great job. I like his draft. I like his draft so far. I mean, I don't know. I just like it. I like the Jamorant value, especially for him. No, at this at that late. If you're, it's just I'll put it this way: if you're at the 14th pick, you just you just have to get as much advantage as you can. No, compared to if you're the first pick, right?
Yeah,
And Jamorant is probably your steal, your cheat to move up a couple of rounds. No, an additional player that you pick 8th round, it could go 4th round. Jamorant is one of those players.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, so two
So
more
two
before
picks.
you pick.
Um, I like Ben Simmons. I'm gonna go Ben. Let's do this. Let's complete this draft with the most unconventional
Aren't you
commish
afraid of the free
team.
throw drop here?
But how many does
Well,
he
not
take?
really.
Not a lot. I think he'll be fine.
Well,
Plus, if
I
he
don't know
plays a little
how.
bit, I mean, he's not Westbrook, right? I mean, not Westbrook levels. We're around 10, right?
Hopefully not though.
Yeah, we're around 10. Let me look. Paul Reed is still here. Interesting. Why is Paul Reed being
Because
dropping? Josh
I
Richardson.
think the managers here in this draft are a little safer. I don't know. I don't see any crazy reach
Yeah.
here.
Yes,
Everyone
that
just
is true.
went as planned. So no big reach here in this draft. So everyone's, I think a lot of managers here are on the safer side, right? Even the
A lot of
10th round
experience, man.
picks, right?
Yeah, lot of experienced managers here. Oh,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, there are.
You put Joseph and Joao here, so I would assume this is the experienced
Well, no,
manager
it's
draft
randomly picked.
or
It's
league.
randomly picked. It's
I don't know.
randomly picked.
Oh, it's randomly picked. I thought
Yeah.
that was so Joao was just randomly put into my league, or you. I mean,
No,
does
it's
that
just
not?
no. It's not you. You were not randomly. Joa was not randomly put in your league. You were put in Joa's league.
Joao's league. Yeah. I requested
Yeah,
for that
because
because I
he
want to be
likes to go
free.
against you.
Yeah. He likes to go against me. So I want to him also. So let's see. Let's see. A lot of managers will be asking us about, last round picks that maybe are not talked about as much. We have talked about a lot of them already. The Josh Richardsons, the Paul Reeds, those players we like. Maybe if you're really in deep drafts, the rookies, Osar. Maybe right now we have another news that we can talk about, which is Dallas starting Lively and Olivier.
Prosper.
How do you Prosper? Let's just put in Prosper, Lively and Prosper. They're starting their two
Yeah,
rookies. So I think those two are worthy of last pick. I would not pick them earlier than the 12th the 140s, no? Because as I said, when the last time we saw Lively was very raw, but playing with Luka and Kyrie, a lot of lob opportunities, a lot of rebounding opportunities. He can jump freely, so we can easily see him locked into some blocks. So it's a worthy gamble, even if he's very raw, even in 20-25 minutes. It's better than him playing 20 minutes off the bench. Starting with Luka and Kyrie will be very, very helpful for him. So he's a player that we maybe have not talked in the last draft. And Prosper, Olivier Maxence Prosper, he's more finished, no? He's more seasoned rookie. He can shoot. He's basically a forward who can do a lot of things. I don't see a lot of fantasy relevance really in his game, but if you're in a 50, 16, 18 team league, I think he's worthy being drafted because he's starting in their right now in their tune-up games. Preseason he's gonna start, so we can go one step ahead and draft him also. Yeah.
But again, just to clarify, it's the last pick. Get them in the last pick of your draft, not
Yeah. We're talking
early.
about last picks. Players that can really has a chance. No, another player is Atlanta Hawks, Jalen Johnson. He's one of another player who I want to have some stocks on. Of course, we know John Collins is gone. We know who's this guy? Sadiq Bey is a starter, but Jalen Johnson is more intriguing. Nice, is more intriguing for me.
All right, I think I lost. That might be me. I lost commish uh, for a bit, but if it's my connection, right there. Commish, you're back. Wait, you're on mute. Hello. I cannot hear you. Can you hear me? All right, so we're having some technical issues here. We are. Wait, let's try this. Hello. All right, we are on the tail end of round 10. Al Horford got picked 139. There, Paul Reed gets picked 140. All right, as we wait for commish, we're starting with round 11. Hope you guys got some nice insights here. And while we're waiting for commish to be back, please don't forget to
Yeah.
there.
Yes. Now I can hear you. Can you hear me
You're
now?
back.
Yep.
All right, great.
Okay.
Yes. So we are at
So
round 11.
round 11. So I'm about to finish my picks. This should go faster right now.
Al
Uh,
Horford, Paul Reed, and round 10. Uh,
there are only very few players in my queue now, so I have to add more players. Hmm. Who were the players here? Amen Thompson, certainly worth considering.
See, even Thompson is still available.
Amen Thompson is the one available. Osar was picked already.
Because
Well,
usually those guys have been picked really like 10th round, maybe 11.
Brandon Miller is also very interesting. Again, just because I'm punting field goals. So he's somebody could be a last round pick for me. How about Dennis Schroeder? Schroeder,
Schroeder is not actually a popular pick, considering
yes.
that he is a starter.
And that's true. And that's weird because maybe if Lillard was rumored to be going to Toronto, they said Toronto was going to be a front runner for Lillard. So if that happened, Schroeder was done. But it didn't happen. So maybe there's some sneaky value there for him. He had a great, he had a very very good FIBA World Cup. So maybe he could bring that
Yeah.
momentum to the NBA, to the NBA
Was
season.
picked already?
Oh, it was picked.
Not
We
yet.
just talked about him. No, he was picked right
Yeah.
now, just now.
All right. That usually happens when we talk about a certain player, they get picked.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Schroeder. Who else? ICS Stewart, not also a popular player that's being picked.
I think
Um,
some of the players left here, Norm Powell, Brogdon, Kyle Anderson, Barrett, these are Gordon Hayward, these are veterans who are always available at the end of the draft. No, they're
yeah,
not usually
they
being
are.
picked. Yeah, they're not usually being picked. Even Oubre, these guys, Cole Anthony, Malik Monk, Kyle Lowry, these are the guys. Even if there's some role in them, for whatever reason, they're always there at the latter parts of the draft, and for good reason. Like some are injury prone, some are some players' role might shrink. No,
Mhm.
so yeah. So there. So those are the players basically usually available.
And a lot of these players end up not being picked as well. Like Norm Powell, rarely being picked, or at least
At last pick
who else?
sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes last pick. Um, Actually, Barrett is surprisingly still here. Usually, he gets picked already
That's
by
true.
this time.
That's true. Usually somebody picks him anyways. No,
Look, the
he
ADP is 118, so
yeah
this
probably
is
is the
way
best player ADP wise left in the draft.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah.
So 10 picks left, getting tougher and tougher to pick. But I have 8 in my queue. I don't think any of they're all gonna be picked. I'll just talk about some players in my queue that I have not talked about. Keontae George from Utah is another player I am not that. I'm not saying I'm sure of him, but I'm sure if he gets minutes, he's gonna blow up. No, I think he's that good. He's really good, but he's a rookie again, so I don't think his role will be there. Will be solid. The minutes will be there right
Plus
away.
plus Utah's a little deeper.
Utah's deeper. Although, having said that, I mean, who's ahead of him? Sexton, Clarkson, Taylor
Yeah,
Horton Tucker. There's no star really ahead of him. So you can easily see him overtake Sexton. I mean, Sexton is solid, but he's not. I mean, he's not a star player. So if really Keontae George plays the way he played in the summer league, maybe he starts pushing for those minutes. So Keontae is gonna be interesting to watch. Let's put it that way.
yeah. Worthy of a last pick. I
in some
think
cases, yes. I have picked him as my last pick in some cases.
in some cases, meaning deep leagues, really
Deep,
deep
deep.
leagues.
I had him in a 16 team.
Yeah.
So yeah, in some leagues, I think you can check him out. Yeah, I just put Lively in. My Lively is ranked 536, so you're not gonna see him if you if you unless you really finish all the players in this.
Kevon Looney is surprisingly still here.
Is he there?
Yeah.
I didn't see him. Yeah. He's there. Kevon Looney.
I mean, given the Draymond Green
Draymond Green.
news,
Yeah.
I would have expected him to get picked already by this time. I mean, this is the last round. I mean, if you have Kevon Looney as your last pick, I think that's going to be
Boyak got
solid.
RJ Barrett. And Boyak there. Boyak
See,
got Looney
we talked
and
about Looney, so he got picked.
I think Boyak is winning this draft. And
Let's see,
Lively gets picked. We're down. Yeah.
because
You
yeah,
punted some categories, yeah.
you
But
punted field goal, but your free throw is a bit worrying.
yeah, but usually that happens because they have I have like Potel, I have Simmons, but I don't
Yeah.
think those guys shoot a lot. So
No, I
I'm
think
banking on that.
also Wemby's free throw is like projected to be like 60% 70, yeah, there 70%.
Yeah.
So it's not really
That
high.
one that one we that one's gonna be the make or break there. If he shoots the free throws not as good, then yeah, maybe that's gonna hurt my team more than I think Ben Simmons. I have five players in my queue here, so I can probably go with Isaiah Stewart. Just go. I think a big. I hope he shoots some 3 pointers this year. He's a
I mean, the numbers are not bad last year. Last year
yeah.
was not bad for Isaiah Stewart. That's why I'm a
So
bit surprised why he has fallen really low.
some players also that probably are gonna get some draft love now that the trade happened is Pat Connaughton, Malik Beasley. These are the guys who will probably one of them might start in Milwaukee as they only have four sure starters. No, so we might see Connaughton, we might see who's the other guy? Malik Beasley
Yeah.
get drafted. So there.
Let's see. But there's still lots of potentially good rosterable players here for the
Kenton
last round.
Grimes. That's a solid pick, Kenton Grimes. Yeah. Mm, okay. Well, yeah. There are lots of. Some of them will be dropped anyways. So whatever. That completes my team. The unconventional team that I built
Yeah,
in this draft.
not the usual commissions team. You there with so many leagues, there will be one or two teams that's gonna be like this. I had mine that I think early in the second draft I had just weird build.
Mm,
I'm not sure how if it would work or not. So
okay.
let's see, because we want to also try different players. Like that's I'm not sure if that's a good advantage of having so many leagues. You want to see how this, you want to own certain players, right? Because
Experimenting.
yeah, if you talk about, let's say, Evan Mobley, for example, high on our, we expect him to do well. We want to have a stock of him as
Yeah.
much as we can, right? At least one.
I think if you're high on certain players, you can have two or three. I'm high on Lamelo this year. I'm high on Evan Mobley. I have two or three of them already.
Yeah.
I like Trey Young this year. I've said it also. So I have some Trey Youngs also. Plus the fact that I've been the ninth pick a lot of times. Maybe this is
This is the
twice
second.
already.
Second, yeah.
In other leagues, I think I had the ninth or tenth also. So I've been drafting at this spot for a lot of times. It gets boring if I keep on picking
The same
the
players,
same
right?
players. Yeah.
Getting the same players.
Mm.
All right, so let's finish
That's
it,
it.
guys. We'll just finish the last few. There, Jarvis Walker got picked. Joao speaking next.
I messaged Joao that he had the who is his players? Can we see Joao's team?
All right, so Joao has.
Shea,
Let's do it here.
Shea, Maxi, Hero, Barnes, Towns, Mobley, Robert Williams, Miles, Jaden, Trey, Schroeder, and Dylan. He's definitely punting assists here. If you have Shea, sometimes that's the build you go. The point
It's
guards.
all. She is kind of hard player to build around as well.
That's true. I had him in my 18 team last night. I had two drafts at the same time. I had Shea and Hero and Barnes. So I have three of his players, three or four. I think I had Mobley also. I'm not too sure, but yeah, it ended up being a punt assist team. So I
Right?
think
I
that's
mean,
where
even if
going.
Shea is a point guard, sometimes
Yeah.
you would end up punting assist. Uh, he
Hmm.
is not an easy player to build around. He's not an easy player to build around,
Yes, not an easy one.
especially for head to head, because there's no elite uh, category other than scoring, maybe.
But yeah, I think so. He doesn't shoot 3 pointers as much as well.
Yeah,
So I see why people are hesitating on picking him third, no, or fourth. Sometimes they go Halley, they go Luca ahead of him because
yeah,
of those things.
because
But
it's easier. Like Halley's easier to build around. Like assist is going to be elite, so
yes,
that's where you go. Shea is like KD light,
mm,
right?
that's
Great
true.
percentages, low, not too high on the good efficiency, and then the rest just across the board, great scoring, and then the rest is just okay, right? So anyway, that's it. I think that's the end of it. Who was the last player to get picked? Uh, Wait, last
As
round, Luke Kennard. Okay,
no
Luke
Kennard.
Kennard got picked by Monique. All right, that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this, and we'll post our socials there. So see you maybe next draft. Bye.